How's it going, guys? My name is Rich AK with AK Growth, a production house focused on intent-driven marketing. And I want to thank everybody who's joined the group so far, who's been watching the videos, who's been talking to me, and it means so much because I want to keep producing these videos for people, and I want to start getting way more detailed with certain aspects of especially what I do, because I just think that it can help so many people. And a lot of this stuff really just stems from me sitting in meetings or talking on the phones with clients or meeting new businesses for the first time and watching how they operate, watching how they move and how they talk and how they act and how they produce. And there's a lot of fine tuning that a lot of companies need, that I see in terms of this ever-changing landscape that we're in. The world that we live in now is so much smaller, and I'm always going to keep coming back to this. It's getting so much smaller, so it's a lot easier to reach people. It's a lot easier to talk to people, and with that, it's also a lot more competitive. So being able to stand apart from the noise, being able to have a certain look that people recognize among hundreds of other companies is truly a skill. And it's produced through hard work. There is no other way around it. There is no marketing piece of technology that's gonna start running tonight that tomorrow is gonna wake you up and you're gonna have 1 million followers with all the context in the world that they need on your company. That simply does not exist. Trust me, I've looked everywhere. It doesn't exist. So don't worry about that kind of stuff. What we're gonna get into today is a little more psychological, but it's also going to give you some very practical advice for how you can create the content, because your competitors have everything to do with the content that you're going to be creating. So let's get into it. So what I want to talk about today might make a lot of business owners pretty uncomfortable because it forces you to transition from a 20th century mindset into a 21st century mindset. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in the 20th century, our media was very controlled. We had a certain amount of channels. We had a certain amount of magazines that we could subscribe to. We had a certain amount of publishers whose books we could read in bookstores. Everything that we did was very controlled, and it was controlled by big companies, large corporations who had to appeal to their own shareholders, right? So everything they did, they had to make sure that their stock wouldn't tumble tomorrow. Everything was very safe. Everything was very watered down. And it didn't really matter because we only could turn our attention to so many different things. Now, if you fast forward into 21st century, media content, media creation is literally everywhere you look. Like, you can look at an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old. They'll be playing on their phone and making a full-length video, full-length movie, just for fun, because it's something that they grew up with. It's normal to them. So our attention is constantly being taken by everything around us. Content does not work the same way that it did 30 years ago, and it's only going to get more insane from here on out. So being able to transition your mindset from a 20th century into a 21st century is by far the greatest advantage that you can have as a business operator, as a business owner, whatever it is that you do. So what is that 21st century mindset? You're sitting with your team and you guys are preparing your next media strategy, your next media campaign, your next whatever. Make the first goal to be unapologetically genuine with the message that you want to convey. Let the viewers understand your true characteristics and behaviors as the humans who run the business. Now, I'm not saying get your head chief whatever to stand in front of a camera like this and talk to people. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you're running a media campaign on Facebook, you need to make sure that you are actually going to be able to break through to that consumer. Now, the best way to reverse engineer this and really understand where I'm coming from is to look at it from this scenario. Let's say you're sitting on Instagram, right? And you're going through your Explore feed and you watch a video of two guys fighting. And it's intense. It's like, wow, like I can't believe this is happening right now. Your mind has all these spikes in chemicals and it's like, wow, like this is crazy. So you get a little pump, you get a little adrenaline rush, whatever. So now you scroll to the next thing in your Explore feed and it's a business trying to kind of half pitch, kind of brand their product, but not really doing much of anything. And do you really think that after somebody just watched a video of two guys fighting, that they're gonna go to the next thing and be like, wow, this is just as exciting? No, they're not. Because the context is so crazy different that you need to be able to push yourself through that noise. See, the problem, or not really a problem, but the reality of the situation is that your competitors are not your competitors in business. Those people do what they gotta do. We don't worry about them anymore. What we really need to worry about is that our competition is all of Instagram. Our competition is all of Facebook, all of YouTube, all of the social media platforms. That's our competition. Now that's scary, right? Because all of a sudden you realize, wait, I'm not competing against the gym down the street. I'm competing against every single person who's putting up their content on the Explore page that's way more interesting than mine and is capturing the attention of users that I want to capture. That's the problem. So what does a 20th century mindset do? It builds out content slowly, making sure every single little piece is perfect. And then they go through multiple different revisions because the original creative was too edgy. It was too intense. It was too this. It was too that. And you guys are doing this in boardroom meetings where it's like there's no context. You're not actually sitting on Instagram for an hour beforehand and being like, wow, that was some crazy shit I just saw. You're not doing that. So when you go through those multiple revisions, those multiple iterations of making the content so diluted that it becomes boring, and then you wonder why it didn't produce any good results. The problem wasn't in the platform. There wasn't a problem in the consumer not paying attention. They paid attention. They just didn't care. Because you did not break through the noise of everybody else around you who's competing for that same time, for that same attention. Your message was not unapologetically genuine. It was diluted. And so when you sit down with your team to create your next campaign, I'm not telling you to go out there and do something crazy that's going to land all of you in jail. But I am saying that you need to be very human. You need to have real characteristics that display through the video that you guys make. Because that person who's sitting there, let's say it's a 43-year-old man, he has feelings and he has emotions and he has thoughts as well. And if he can look at your video that your business made and be like, wow, I felt that. Wow, I like that. Like, that's powerful. But if you're just kind of trying to half brand, half sell, but dilute it all down to make sure it's safe so that no one leaves you a bad comment because you're chronically afraid of having someone DM you and tell you that, hey, your stuff sucks, well, then it's actually going to suck. So transitioning out of a 20th century play it safe mindset of, oh, we can't get in trouble, we can't do this, we can't do that, we don't want to get a bad comment. We don't live in that kind of world. And the people who are going to disregard this message, be like, yeah, that works for them, but that's not going to work for me. I really want you to think twice about that. Because I'm not telling you to go crazy and promote violence or promote whatever in your videos to get attention. There's people who do that and they land in jail. So I'm not telling you to go do that, but I am telling you that everybody else around you is competing for the same person, the same time, and the same attention. So how are you going to utilize your skills, your business, your leverage in order to get that end user's attention? I hope this video helps you out. I had a lot of fun making it. I had a lot of fun thinking about it beforehand. And if I could leave you with one thing, it's to build creative that you really actually like. Something that you can watch 10 times and be like, wow, this was awesome. That's good. And believe me, it doesn't matter if you're in the most boring business or if you're in the most exciting business, you can do that. But you need to start creating content right now if you haven't been. Because you're not going to be able to come up with the idea 4 months from now if you don't spend those 4 months actually building out the ideas that don't work. See, it's a constant iteration. You gotta constantly exercise that habit. You gotta constantly exercise that skill. And as you exercise that skill, you're gonna get a lot better. And you're gonna create new ideas, and you're gonna have new thoughts and new visions and new understandings about how you might want to approach your market, how you might want to approach the people who actually watch your stuff. So I really hope this helps. My name is Rich AK. I work at AK Growth. I do a lot of intent-driven marketing. Everything that I do has a purpose behind it. I understand the difference between branding, I understand the difference between sales, and I understand how they both work together. I love seeing how this world is transforming every single day because it scares so many people. But you should only be scared if you don't know what you're doing. If you're actually practicing this every single day, you're probably having a blast because it's exciting to be able to talk to hundreds of new people every single day. Like, we couldn't do that beforehand unless we were famous. And now everybody can do it. And your business is the same exact way. So don't think that just because you had to put your business hat on, you stop being a human being. Because now more than ever, businesses are just like humans. And we want to make sure that we can really connect with our people. So I hope this video helps you out. My name is Rich AK. I know I said this already, but I work at AK Growth, and I hope you're having a great day.